Hi everyone. This video is a very special book review. I wanted to do a wonderful book review in celebration of the autumnal equinox or the first day of fall. I wanted to get decorated for the event. I even wore my little autumn earrings. This book is a book that I found recently in a little free library box, and I think you will enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it. The title of this book is If the Earth Were a Few Feet in Diameter, and it was written by Joe Miller with artwork by Wilson McLean. It's either McLean or McLean. But yeah, I found this book in a little free library box. I knew I had to get it, mainly because it had the little covering, the little library protective covering that I wish I had on every single one of my books, honestly. I don't even know where they buy it, but if I have to buy it in bulk, I will. But this book, the cover of it is what attracted me to it. So before I even read it, I just grabbed it and put it in my bag. This book I selected for the first day of fall because it had a picture of the earth. I feel that it celebrates the changing seasons of the earth and all of the beauty of the planet that we live on. This book was published in 1998, so it is essentially almost, almost 30 years old, because 2018, it makes it 20 years, so it's almost, we got a couple of years until it's almost 30 years old, but the message of this book is still relevant. It is still beautiful as the day that it was written. So before I get into the book and how much I enjoyed it, let me tell you a little bit about the author and the illustrator. So the author, I couldn't find a bio of him online, but this is him, and this is a picture of the illustrator too. The author's name is Joe Miller. And at the time of this book publishing, Joe Miller lived with his wife, Dana, and their small daughter, No Ren. I don't know if it's pronounced Noe, because it's spelled N-O-E, or Noe, or No. And Wren is spelled like the bird wren, W-R-E-N. In a little house, in a little woods, on a small island, up on a little planet. This poem was written in Moab, Utah, where Joe lived with his first wife and their 5 children, who are now all grown and blazing out in the larger world. Joe has been a painter for 40 years, steadfastly in love with the blue of the sky. I wonder what Joe Miller's art pieces would look like. I wonder if I can look online and see if I can find any paintings that he's made. I also thought it was really interesting that he lived in a place called Moab, Utah, because every time I hear the name Moab, I just think of the Old Testament with the burning of Sodom and Gomorrah. And Moab was the name of one of the sons that Lot had with his daughters. And I believe it translates to from daddy. That is where the Moabites came from. So I just thought that was pretty interesting. There's a place called Moab, Utah. Now the illustrator, he has more information on him that I could find online than the author. There's a Wikipedia article on him, and it says he was born in 1937. He's a Scottish illustrator, Wilson McLean. He's illustrated primarily in the field of advertising, but has also provided cover art for music albums, sports magazines, including Sports Illustrated, a children's book, and other endeavors. So just reading about this illustrator, he traveled around the world a lot. So he studied in London. That's where his career began when he was about 15 years old in a silkscreen studio. And at that time, he got exposure to the work of American illustrators. He moved to Copenhagen, and he ended up getting a wife who was Norwegian, and they had a child together. Then they moved to New York City in the 60s, he moved there in 1965, and he came with his wife and child in 1966. And that's where his career, started growing and developing. He started doing magazine covers and all of these different things and studying different styles, experimenting with different mediums. But eventually it paid off. He started winning a lot of awards. He had several silver and gold medals at the Art Directors Club of New York, plus the prestigious Clio for television commercials for Eastern Airlines. He won the 9 silver and 4 gold medals over the years at the Society of Illustrators in New York. So he got married again in 1974 to an ex-model who became a photographer, and it just goes on and on about his career. The only children's book he illustrated was this one, If the Earth Were a Few Feet in Diameter. This only children's book he illustrated, which I can totally understand because, like murals, illustrating is tiring. I feel like I want to retire from illustrating. This book I'm working on right now is my last book I'm illustrating for anybody, and I'm done. I already put it on my website. I will not do commissions, murals, illustrations, all of that. So I can understand why this was probably his last children's book, because sometimes you just want to create something and get it over with and move on to the next one. He also has some teaching experience. He taught at Syracuse University. He instructed at School of Visual Arts. He had guest workshops at Savannah College of Art and Design, Ringling College of Art and Design. Then he moved to New York in the year 2000 with his second wife, and he now lives full-time in Hurley, New York. So this man, I feel, had a very successful career as an artist. I don't know if he's still doing art right now. The last update I can see in this article is in 2011, he was interviewed for the National Endowment for the Arts Works blog. So maybe he retired. I would have retired. At a certain point, I'm just going to retire from art because it takes a lot. It's a lot of physical energy. So I think his style is a very unique style. Some people will have styles that when you look at them, you're like, oh, I know who that person is. Or even if you don't know who they are, you'll be like, whoa, that's really intense. So we're going to sit here, read through this poem, and enjoy the beautiful artwork of this book. So the first page goes, if the earth were a few feet in diameter, floating a few feet above a field somewhere. It has the earth as just a little globe in the middle of a field. You can see all the details of the animals. This is probably my favorite one. The blue jay, all the beautiful flowers. I'm really not like an animal fanatic, but I do like how people will portray animals in artwork. You see the little sheep. They're so wrinkled. Look at you, sheep. People will come from everywhere to marvel at it. So now you got some tourists visiting the earth. You got some geese. You got this man who I guess is, if he could, he would probably be selling tickets to the earth. He just looks like he's going to charge me to go look at the earth. Period. And this little girl over here is laughing. She's like, ha ha ha, oh my gosh. Wait, no, wrong way. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Look at it. It's so much fun. Oh my God. Oh, you got some mushrooms over here too. People would walk around it marveling at its big pools of water, its little pools, and the water flowing between. Now this page is different from the other pages because on some of these pages, they actually have information like scientific information allegedly about the earth, facts about the earth. So it says, if the earth were a few feet in diameter, all of the 332 million cubic miles of water in its oceans, lakes, and rivers would amount to a little more than half a gallon. The Earth's 5,600 trillion tons of atmosphere would weigh just over an ounce, and breathing normally, you would inhale and exhale it all in 3 minutes. Then it says, it would take you just a few hours to walk to the sun, which would be 11 miles away and more than 500 feet in diameter. But you could walk to the moon in under a minute, as it would only be about 150 feet away and 16 inches in diameter. Look, I'm not going to the sun. A stack of pennies that would reach the Earth's center would be worth only $5. A stack worth more than 40 million would be needed to reach to the center of the Earth at its actual size. I'm trying to process all of this, and I really can't because I'm just like, how did y'all measure the Earth? How am I taking these exact measurements as fact? That's why I said allegedly, because I haven't seen all of the Earth. I haven't been up out of space and seen the Earth. So I'm only believing what you tell me, but I just can't. You haven't discovered all of the Earth. Me personally, I think the Earth is actually bigger than we assume. We haven't even explored all the oceans. But yeah, you can come with your facts and everything. This picture is cute. We got this man over here. He's wanting to smell a crater or something. I don't know what he's smelling. This little girl is trying to hold the earth, but she doesn't have biceps strong enough to do that. This dog right here is just over it. He's ready to go. He wants his kibbles and bits. He's already been there, done that, and seen it all. And he doesn't know why he's in the middle of a field with no snacks. I'm just like, are there any black people on the earth? Because I haven't seen any yet. Okay. People would marvel at all the bumps on it and the holes in it, and they would marvel at the very thin layer of gas surrounding it and the water suspended in the gas. I like this picture. This looks really pretty. I just couldn't do this as an illustrator. It would just be too much for me. Like, I don't have that much passion for doing such detail unless I was working on this book for like 2 years. But this is really beautiful. I don't know why, but it looks, some parts of it make me hungry because they look like snacks. Like this over here looks like some chocolate. This looks like some ice cream. You see all the little trees over here? It's like you're in a helicopter from above. The people would marvel at all the creatures walking around the surface of the ball. This man is very good at painting animals. I still don't really understand his style. Like, half of it looks like painting, the other half looks digital and colored pencil. Like, I can't quite put what he used, what media he used. I think it's painting, but I'm not sure. But he has all these different animals. I can't name them all. It looks like a tiger. You've got a lion. You've got an elephant. Is that a bison, a buffalo, rhinoceros, antelope, or is that a hyena? It's a lemur. Is that lemur? Like Zabumafu, a snake and some frogs. I know what this is called, but I don't really know what it's called. But look at the details of every single animal. So anatomically correct. Nearly 1.5 million different types of plants and animals inhabit the earth, and those are just the ones we've seen. It is thought that there are maybe as many as 40 million different species of plants and animals. You know, I have been kind of looking up facts about animals as of late, and I've noticed that a lot of these species that they thought were extinct are starting to be seen again. I'm also wondering how many more animals we haven't discovered that are actually in the depths of the ocean. That would be fascinating. A tablespoon of marshy water may hold millions of the simplest creatures. In a mere tenth of an ounce of soil, there may be 3 million organisms. The largest animal in the world is the blue whale, whose weight of 200 tons is 24,560 billion times heavier than the smallest insect, a parasitic wasp that weighs 0. And then there's like 7 zeros, 2 ounces. I did read somewhere about they had found a whale that they believe was 1,300 years old. I've heard of sea turtles that were well over 100 years old. There was also some type of underwater creature that when it reached adulthood, it could go back to being almost like a fetus. It never died. It just regenerated itself over and over. So there are so many types of animals that we have yet to come across. Either they're in hiding or they're at the bottom of the ocean. Maybe they're so microscopic that we don't even know they exist. Some animals people will claim aren't real, like they're mythical creatures. I don't know, because I haven't been out there to mess around and find out. You're not going to catch me in the woods being face to face with a bear. No, thank you. Look at all of these sea creatures. And at the creatures in the water. This man is so talented. This is so beautiful. I would love this as a poster. The people would declare it as sacred because it was the only one, and they would protect it so that it would not be hurt. That's how we have to do with the earth anyway. We just acting like we can just go next door to Mars and be like, you know what? Bye. I'm out. Goodbye, Earth. I don't need you anymore. Now, there are some people who are planning to do that. There's other people that are like waiting for a rapture. It really depends. I don't really have a problem with Earth. I like the Earth. I incarnated to the Earth for a reason. I really don't have a problem with it. I'm sure it has a problem with, being bullied and being experimented on for no reason, but I think the earth is a sacred place and that we should take care of it because it takes care of us. It literally gives us everything we need for free and we just don't care. Well, not we, not as in you and me. I just meant collectively. It's like half people just don't care about Earth and then the other half is like save the planet. But it says, of all the tales told among the many religions of the world, that scared me. The most solemn are the creation tales. These sacred stories cast Earth itself as a religious form, the source of all other life forms and powers. In many cultures, Mother Earth is one of the oldest and most widespread of religious symbols. Like a woman giving birth to children, so the earth brings forth life. And then it goes and talks about like different creation stories. So one is a Japanese creation myth where the earth begins with an egg that is half gold and half silver. The gold yolk becomes the bright heavens. The silver white becomes the mountains, clouds, and sea. Then there's an Indian Minyong myth that tells of the original union of the earth and the sky. Caught between them were people and animals who, afraid of being crushed, beat the sky back until he fled into the heavens. Then it said, the ball would be the greatest wonder ever known. Well, now they're filming it. There needs to be a fence around the earth. And people would come to pray to it to be healed. I like this picture the most. I think this is probably one of my favorite pictures in the book. It reminds me of a painting Norman Rockwell made a long time ago, and I can't remember what it's called. But when I find it, I'll probably put it in this video. But you got people from all nations praying for the earth. They're lighting a candle. They're all just praying in their own way, and they're from different belief systems. You have Catholicism. You have looks like Islam, and I don't, is it Buddhism or Jewish? It's like all sorts of different people. And you have a dove with an olive branch, or a bird with an olive branch. Some 60 billion people have lived and died on the earth since mankind's beginning, and it is all but certain that no two were ever or will ever be identical. The odds against that happening are so great that the number could be written out as 1 followed by more than 9,000 zeros. If we could see the Earth from 300,000 miles out in space, its many pieces of land, swirls of clouds, and vast reaches of water would appear to be so small as to resemble some of the countless cells that we are all made of. I think we are the Earth. Like sometimes when I read about how a cell functions or how certain parts of our body function, I just see it in the Earth. One theory I had mentioned in another video, or not theory, like hypothesis or idea I was thinking, was like with menopause. When I think of trees and how they'll flourish and then they'll lose their leaves, they'll go into a winter, they'll go into a resting period before they blossom again. I'm thinking to myself, like, is that how the human body is supposed to be? Like, do we like go into a resting period before we flourish again? That makes any sense? I don't know. I don't know if it's all trees or if it's just like most trees, because you'll have a tree that'll just keep blooming and blooming and bearing fruit almost hundreds and hundreds of years. And we have the potential to emulate these things in nature. We just don't, because we don't have the appropriate tools or the appropriate exercises in order to, I guess, mimic nature. The Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. If that were represented by 1 year, then life would not even begin until March 29th. I mean, whose calendar are you basing it off of? The first fish would not appear until December 7th, and the first amphibians December 14th. The dinosaurs will be born and die between December 15th and December 26th. Ape men would appear at 6:17 p.m. on December 31st. Jesus Christ will be born 14 seconds before midnight, and the oldest person alive today would have been born within the last second. I don't really know whose calendar he's basing it off of. I guess time is all relative. So it says to gain knowledge, with people praying over the earth. So they have a large telescope. People would love it and defend it with their lives. because they would know someone, or they would somehow know that their lives could be nothing without it. And so all these people. Well, this dude is actually going to defend the earth with his spear or whatever. But nobody else has a weapon. Wait. Oh, wait, he has a spear too. Okay. Okay, so we good. We got some spears. We got a dog. Somebody's missing their helmet. We got some. This is a gander or a goose. I don't know, but I've been attacked by one of those, so I think that's some good security. If the Earth were a few feet in diameter, and it shows the Earth in outer space. Oh, we were told it's outer space. I don't know, because I haven't been there. Is that a face in the... Okay. Then it has the poem, but written in a globe. I guess this is how the poem was originally laid out. I don't know. And over here it has all of the animals. There's a little baby pig. That's probably my favorite. Look at the baby pig. Look at the baby pig. Got a baboon. Is that a baboon? Oh my god, we got an ostrich. I love ostriches. Oh, let's see. And that's the end of the poem. I actually really like this book. I wish it was longer, honestly. The illustrations really carried it through, but the words were still good. I almost wish there were prayers for the earth included in here, but it might have gone to be too religious. But this book was very, very beautiful. I wish there would be an updated version of this book with more facts about the earth, and also have like something in the back with just straight facts about the earth, which is pretty fascinating. It actually makes me want to learn more about this planet. So I would give this book, I'd give this book 5 fudge buckets. Mainly because the illustrations. It was just enough. You don't want a children's book to be too long. But I really liked it. It touched my heart. Just, I don't know. It just touched it in some type of way. Because he didn't say too much, but he said enough. The layout was good. The illustrations were good. There could have been, more people of color in there. But, I don't know. I don't know. We're somewhere on the earth. But other than that, 5 fudge buckets. So thank you all for watching this video. I will come back with another book review next week. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.